So now we are going to talk about the 5-year plan. So there are basically the 12 5-year plan since the commencement of our since we obtained we achieved independence. So when we see after the commencement of the constitution in 1950 in 1950 thereof in 1951 for the development for the economic and the financial development of the country, government has planned the 5-year plan, which is called 5-year plan. Okay, so this 5-year plan is a it consists of the 12 plan, and there are 12 plan because after that in planning commission was replaced by the Niti Aayog. So because of which there are only 12 5-year plan. Okay, so in the detail and in more of a revision sense, we will talk about the 5-year plan. Okay, so first 5-year plan you have to remember in this way: first 5-year plan, second 5-year plan, and third 5-year plan. Okay, so after the third 5-year plan there came a plan holiday of 3 years, which is from 1966 to 69. And after the plan holiday which came is the fourth 5-year plan, fifth 5-year plan, and after the successive two 5-year plan, which is 4 and 5, there came the rolling plan. Okay, rolling plan lasted for 78 to 1978 to 80. And after the rolling plan again, sixth, seventh plan came, and after also the 6 and 7, two consecutive 6 and 7 plan, there came annual plan which lasted from 1990 to 1992. The reasons are there are very significant reasons are there for this annual plan, because after the annual plan there was a drastic shift into the economic growth pattern in the country. So after the annual plan there came eighth 5-year plan, and after the 8th 5-year plan there came 9th 5-year plan, 10th final 5-year plan, 11th 5-year plan, and 12th 5-year plan. All right, so when you see this, after the and after the 8th 5-year plan there was no any other suspension, or it was replaced by any yearly plan. Okay, so now let's see what are the first 5-year plans. So see, first 5-year plan which was commenced from 1951 to 1956, right? And the focus of this 5-year plan was the agriculture, looking to the degraded situation of our country, both economically and deprived. Country and the citizen was highly deprived of their nutrition, and therefore, because more than 80% of our population was under the agriculture, so therefore focus on agriculture was given the preference on the first 5-year plan, which was based on the Damodar model. Okay, based on Damodar model. In prelims the question might come in this way: 5-year plan is based on following models. So in that you have to understand, first 5-year plan was Damodar model, and various irrigation projects were established, like Bhakra Nagal project, which is in Satluj river, connecting Punjab, which is in the Punjab and between Punjab and Himachal Pradesh. Damodar Valley Dam, and Hirakud, which is in the Mahanadi, is also been established during this 5-year plan. Now coming to the second 5-year plan, of course we know this was based on the Nehru Mahalanobis model. Okay, so Nehru Mahalanobis model was a more of a industrial development. So therefore second 5-year plan was industrial, focused on the industrial development, in which for such Durgapur steel plant of West Bengal, in assistance with the United Kingdom, was established in West Bengal, as I said, and the Rourkela steel plant, which is in Odisha, in Germany, is being established. Bhilai steel plant in Chhattisgarh, which is also established in assistant or in help from the help of Soviet Union. And after the second 5-year plan came the third 5-year plan, which is focused on the balance of both, which is also the Gadil Yojana model. Okay, Gadil Yojana model, and which is focused on both the agriculture and industry. So it was a self-sustaining economy, and first time India borrowed from IMF in the third year plan. India first time borrowed for the IMF, and currency was also devalued in order to promote the in order to enhance and promote the export. And in 1965, green revolution was launched by the government of India. Recently, as you know, the father of green revolution, who is Dr. MS Swaminathan, who was also been conferred with the India's highest civilian award, Bharat Ratna. Right. So as I said, first, second, third. After the third 5-year plan comes a plan holiday of 3 years, annual 1966 to 69. And in this plan holiday, why were what are the various reasons for the plan holiday to be adopted? The reason is that because India came across with the numerous challenges in the external front, even in the internal front, right? In the external front, India met in 1961 war with China, and after the following 4 years in 1965, there was a war with Pakistan, and there was also various trouble mounted on India on the economic ground also, like inflation, flood, forex reserve crisis. So these are the certainly some of the most disastrous moment that India had seen during this, after the third 5-year plan. Rather, I would say in the middle of the third 5-year plan, during the third 5-year plan. Well, after that comes the fourth 5-year plan, and this fourth 5-year plan was based on the Ashok Rudra model, and it aims in the growth with the stability and progressive achievement of self-reliance. So in 1969, during this time, 14 banks were nationalized, and in 1970 there was a non-proliferation trade of nuclear weapon, in which India resented from signing it. And because this non-proliferation treaty of the nuclear weapon prevented the spread of the nuclear weapon. Okay, so in 1971 there came the liberation of the Bangladesh from the East Pakistan. And in 1974, Smiling Buddha, the first nuclear test was done in 1974. Well, after the fourth 5-year plan came the fifth 5-year plan, and this fifth 5-year plan was focused on the Garibi Hatao, employment, justice, and agriculture and defense. More important, Garibi Hatao, eradication of the poverty. Okay, and this fifth 5-year plan was based on the DP Dhar model. So during this plan, minimum need program, MNP program of 1974 was launched, and regional rural bank was also established. Food and work program. National emergency was also declared due to the internal disturbances in 1974 during the fifth 5-year plan. After the fifth 5-year plan, there comes a rolling plan, as I said, for the 2 years. And the features of the rolling plan are, because rolling plan consists of it is a multi-layer goals were set in the rolling plan, not rigidly followed but liable to the reset according to the circumstances. So in order to overcome the rigidity of the 5-year plan, rolling plan was adopted. If economy was fluid, rolling plan is necessary in that case. So disadvantage of the rolling plan, of course there are some, of course there has to be some disadvantage, shortcomings of the rolling plan, right? So those are, if the plan is revised each year, it becomes difficult to achieve the targets, right? Second, frequent revision. So what does it mean? Frequent revision results in the instability of the economy. So certainly these are the most important point on you can note for the prelims point of view. And now moving ahead is the sixth 5-year plan. So sixth 5-year plan was focused on the poverty eradication, building infrastructure, increasing or improvement of the infrastructure and industrial development, and employment, which are the more prior focus, but more was given on the poverty. So for that, in order to mitigate the poverty, the steps taken are like is launch or they launch government of India launched the schemes like integrated rural development program, trans training for the rural youth for self-employment, national rural employment program. So such are the things, such are the schemes which are launched specifically focusing the rural areas. And in 1980, again another six in the second phase, second national banks, six banks were nationalized. In 82, NABARD was also established. Industrial development, as I said, it taken place, and there was a establishment of the Vishakhapatnam steel plant, which is in Arunachal Pradesh, Salem steel plant, and Bhadravati steel plant were established. After the sixth 5 year plan came the seventh 5 year plan. This seventh 5 year plan was focused more on the growth in the economic production, increased production, food grains, and also it increased the employment opportunities. So these are the prima focus of the seventh 5 year plan. Well, during the seventh 5 year plan only, the Blue Revolution was also launched for the promotion of the fisheries, and 1988 SEBI was also established, and but in 1992 SEBI was conferred with the statutory status, and in 1989 Jawahar Rozgar Yojana was also launched. Well, after that, the private sector got priority over the private sector got priority over the public sector. Right now, there came after the seventh 5 year plan came the annual plan, and which lasted from 1990 to 1992. So this is due to the fast changing economic situation. As we know, during the 1990 to the 1992, India had witnessed a drastic change, which is in the eighth 5 year plan. Eighth 5 year plan, new economic policy was adopted, which was a drastic and the most important change, with liberation, with the LPG model, right? Which is liberation, privatization, liberalization, privatization, and globalization. Well, now moving ahead with the eighth 5 year plan, which is, as I said, based on the John Miller model, or the Rao Manmohan model, and this was during the PV Narasimha Rao government, and new economic policy was adopted, where the LPG reforms were brought. Focused was on the development of the human resources, employment, education, and the public health. In 1955, India became the member of World Trade Organization, and in 95, midday meal scheme was also launched. Well, eighth 5 year plan is based on the Rao Manmohan model. What are the features of the Rao Manmohan model? It reorient the role of the state government, and dismantle the control and permit the selectively, and open up economy competition, to provide competition, to create a competition for the public sector enterprise. Another externally liberalized. And results were, what are the results of this Ram Manmohan model? Results are like elevating balance of payment pressure, FDI, and for FII, which is a foreign direct investment, and the foreign institutional investment was increased, and thus resulting into the increase in the export of our country. Well, during the 8th 5 year plan only, indicative planning was also adopted, and this indicative planning was basically adopted from 8th 5 year plan. Features of this indicative planning was that the private sector was given a substantial role in the economy, and state role was changed from the controller to the facilitator or the indicator, directing, and investments has been investments are less investments are relatively, it was relatively less invested by the government, but it was more of given priority to the private sector. So this was about the 8th 5 year plan. Now the 9th 5 year plan came. As I said, 9th 5 year plan came focused on the growth with social justice and equality, and during this 9th 5 year plan only, East Asian financial crisis of 1997 was what we met with, and India went for first American Depository Receipts, which is a ADR in 1999. During this year, Indian company was also listed in the New York Stock Exchange, which is popularly known as Nasdaq. And Pokhran 2, which is a nuclear test of 1998, was also second nuclear test was also conducted. And in 99, we again met with the another external trouble mounted on us with the Kargil war. And during this year only, 9/11 terrorist attack on the World Trade Center was also we got to see. And schemes like Swarna Jayanti Gram Swarozgar Yojana of 1999, which subsumed the other three important schemes like integrated rural development program, training of the rural youth for the self-employment, development of the women and children of rural areas. And gram sadak PM Gram Sadak Yojana was also launched, and Golden Quadrilateral National Highway Networks, which was connecting the India's major four cities, like in North Delhi, in South Chennai, in East Kolkata, and in West is Mumbai. In After the ninth five-year plan came the 10th five-year plan, which focused on the eradicating poverty and unemployment. And the aims of the 10th five-year plan was to attain the 8% GDP growth, reduction of the poverty by the 5% by 2007, gainful and high quality employment, as there was a backlog of the qualified and the competent people, and also reduction for the gender gap in literacy also. And after this, several drought nations suffer several drought severe drought, and our nation suffered during the year 2002 to 2003. And Narega, National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, and National Rural Health Mission began during this plan, and economy grew by 7.8%. Well, in 11th five-year plan, which focused on the faster and the inclusive growth. Always remember, ninth five-year plan focused on the growth and the social justice and equality. 10th focused on eradicating poverty and unemployment. But 11th focused on the faster and the inclusive growth. Okay. And during this 11th five-year plan, global economy went into great recession by the bankruptcy of the Lehman Brothers in USA, and Greece suffered the sovereign debt crisis, which they have they were unable to service the loans borrowed from the world. And aim of the 11th five-year plan was accelerate the economic growth and make it more inclusive, and lower the poverty, generate 70 million jobs, reduce unemployment less than 5%. And the chief thrust of this plan of 11th five-year plan was the agriculture, education and infrastructure. And you have to note here that 11th five-year plan saw the growth of 8% GDP, which is one of the most highest GDP in the entire five-year plan. And after that, 12th five-year plan came, which was focused on the faster, sustainable and the more inclusive growth. And this was since in 2014, during this five-year plan, in 2014 government changed, and plan was considered inoperative, and demonetization also took place in 2016. It saw the growth of 6.8% 12th five-year plan. So this was about the 12th five-year plan. We shall surely discuss about the later improvement of the Indian economy after the 12th five-year plan. Thank you.